Bro, I don't have $1. Get out of here. I don't have $1. Sorry, crackhead. Bro. So today we're going to talk about UFC, I don't know, UFC Rio, right? So, the GOAT, our GOAT. You know, not really Mike. I'm not really a massive Charles guy, but Charles Oliveira, unfortunately, is missing an opponent. So this gave me an excuse to talk about this fight as well as lots of fights that have been announced that I'm really excited to yap about. So, of course, we're going to start with this news that Rafael Fiziev is out of his fight against Charles do Bronx Oliveira at UFC Rio on October 11th due to an injury. So, I mean, this is unfortunate. This was a fight I was looking forward to. Now, I got to say this. I think it's going to be Benoit Saint-Denis. I think it's going to end up being Benoit Saint-Denis versus Charles Oliveira. He says that he's in shape. He's been waiting for... Well, he says he was actually keeping an eye on this fight because in case anyone pulled out or something, which is very smart. And honestly, Fiziev was kind of the last guy I would have expected to pull out. I would have thought it would have been Charles. No offense, Charles. I know you're looking at me all seductive and with those bedroom eyes, but I would have thought you would have been the first guy to pull out. No offense. But no, it was Fiziev. Now, I think it's going to end up being Charles versus Benoit Saint-Denis, which I got to say is a little bit more interesting, man. That's a little bit more interesting because I thought, especially as the closer we got to UFC Rio, I thought Oliveira beating Fiziev was a bit of a foregone conclusion. No offense to Fiziev, I'm a fan of his. But I do think that it was something that was kind of written in the stars, right? You know, Oliveira is going to have his big comeback win against a striker, blah, 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 blah. But now that it's going to be Benoit, or presumably it's Benoit. I don't have any sources. I'm just assuming it's going to be Benoit, of course. Maybe I'm wrong and it ends up being... I mean, let's be honest. The only other name I can think is potentially an Arman Tsarukyan, but of course, Arman Tsarukyan would never step up and save an event. You know, he would just expect people to save his events, like Renato Moicano. But Arman Tsarukyan realistically would be a perfect guy to step in. I mean, he should be in shape. He just beat apparently Benson Henderson. Like, what are we doing here? Why is he not fighting? But he says he's fighting Dan Hooker, so yay. Cool. Dan Hooker's another guy who's injured, or he's probably not injured. He's just sitting on his butt. Paddy Pimblett, who knows what's going on with him. So realistically, it's going to be Benoit Saint-Denis. I'd like for it to be Arman. I think that'd be a nice thing, but it's probably going to be Benoit. And that fight kind of interests me more because I do think Benoit Saint-Denis, as sloppy of a striker as he is, he did look improved. But the thing is, his game is to get you to the ground. His striking is complementary to his grappling. His whole thing is to get you to the ground and submit you. And he likes to be, you know, using top position. Then he likes to get the back, get the rear naked choke. But the problem is, against Charles Oliveira, one of the masters of fighting off his back, that's going to be very tricky for Benoit Saint-Denis. So that fight interests me a little bit more, especially in a 5-rounder. It's a big jump up for Benoit, but I mean, this is a big jump up for Fiziev. Not like it's been his first jump up. I mean, he already fought Gaethje twice and failed twice, by the way. But yeah, overall, it's probably going to be Benoit, so that's that. You know, Oliveira, Fiziev is probably going to be Oliveira, Benoit. That kind of interests me a lot more, so I'm not going to, you know, cry the blues about it. Now, let's move on to some pretty sick fights that have been announced from Big Marcel. Obviously, he's always got the fight. So, the first fight, Mitsibek? No. How do you say it? Mateus, not Mitsibek. I think I have CT. Mateus Rebecki, one of my favorite fighters in the sport right now. You guys know this, versus Ludwig Klein. I think this is an absurdly great fight. Of course, this is two guys that are just the best white Europeans you could find. No, these are two really great fighters, honestly. They're some of my favorite guys outside the rankings. I'm a massive Rebecki fan, to be honest. I do kind of wish... Well, I was going to say I wish he was getting someone ranked, but he's coming off a loss, isn't he? Yeah. He lost to, what, Chris Duncan, I think? Or did he win that fight? I remember that fight being a war. So it's kind of crazy that he's already coming back in October. I mean, Arman Tsarukyan, you can learn something from this guy. You know, it's called consistency. This guy was just in a war. He's coming back to fight Ludwig Klein, who's like an obscenely hard matchup for anybody outside the rankings. I think a 3-rounder, right? I might lean I might lean Ludwig Klein. I love Rebecca. You guys know this, but man, he's been through too many wars, so much damage, so much scar tissue. He's probably going to cut really easy. And I think Ludwig Klein can find the target pretty well, but we'll see. We'll see. For now, I'll lean towards Ludwig Klein via decision. We're skipping over these fights. I don't care. Let's keep going. All right, we got Kyle Nelson versus Matt Frivola. I guess Kyle Nelson will probably win that one. Then we have Cody Gibbs. Okay, don't care. All right, this is a good fight. Felipe Lima versus Daniel Marcos. This is actually a really good fight. Kind of a sneaky fight. I think this is actually... Oh, this is tricky. You guys know I love Felipe Lima. I've, glazed him for many months. But Daniel Marcos, in my opinion, is not... He's a little bit overhyped, I think. But he's all right. He's solid. I think Felipe Lima is going to win this one, though. I think he's good enough to, outstrike and outgrapple this guy. I think this is going to be a Felipe Lima, 30-27, 29-28 kind of. He's the supreme striker. Tom Nolan is going to fight Charlie Campbell. What are we doing here? Let's keep going. We got... I can never say this guy's name. Sukarayev will fight Eric McCone. What are these? Who names their kids these names, man? But anyways, he's already back. That's pretty cool. So he's going to be on that Islam Makhachev card, UFC 322. I believe that's the Islam card, right? Or is that the November? Yeah, that's the Islam Makhachev card, I think. Yeah, so that's a good spot for him. They obviously like this guy. They're going to try to industry plant this guy, even though he almost got slept in his last fight by a smaller, short notice opponent. Anyways, he'll probably win that one though, right? Macy Barber versus who cares? Who cares? Anyways, this is a sick fight. I posted this on my community post. Jose Delgado will fight Nathaniel Wood. This is a pretty sick fight in my opinion. It's going to be a really, really good striker fight. I think, this is really tough. There's a hair in my mouth. Poor Nathaniel Wood, man. He's really been just not really been given any good matchups. I mean, I guess that's what happens when you don't duck anybody and you fight everyone they put in front of you. Nathaniel Wood, he, of course, took this fight. I think this is really dangerous for him, though. I'm kind of worried because Nathaniel Wood is hittable. It's not like he's never been dropped or never been wobbled or never been rocked. I'll probably lean Nathaniel Wood, though, off of experience. I think... it's tough. I wish he was getting a ranked opponent, man. You guys know I'm a Nathaniel Wood fan, so I think it sucks that, Mauricio Rufy can be on a 3-fight winning streak, one of those names being James Lontop, and he could be given a ranked opponent, but Nathaniel Wood has to fight 35 guys. Then he gets a number 15 ranked guy, maybe, if he wins this, so it's really annoying how the sport works, but I think he's going to win this one. I just trust his experience more. He's a really sneaky good striker. What the fuck? Now this one is a crazy fight. Shamil Gaziev, Sergey Spivak. This is going to be a war in my opinion. Now I think the way this fight could be better is if they threw a burger in the middle of the octagon, and obviously they fought over it, but they're not going to do that. So I'm still going to go... Spivak is... I'm going to go Shamil, I'm going to trust Shamil Gaziev. He looks like he's getting in better shape every time we see him. We know he's a good grappler. We know he's got KO power. We saw that in his last fight. And I think Spivak is good, but we saw with Marcin Tybura, at a certain point the dam is going to break with these sort of veteran heavyweights, and I just think it's going to happen. I think Shamil's going to win, I think Spivak, yes, he's a good gatekeeper, but at a certain point, you're going to lose. You're going to lose to these up-and-coming prospects, if you want to call Shamil a prospect. But I think Shamil's going to probably... I'm going to say he's going to sleep him. I could see Shamil Gaziev, sleeping him or something. I don't know, but I'm not just saying that for the memes. I think he's actually going to win. Then you have this unfortunate news, probably the worst news of the week. Anthony Hernandez is out. I'm not sure what's up with all these main events falling through. It's I really don't know what it is. I wonder if fighters are just more... They're more willing to just pull out even if they're injured, whereas in the past, I think they didn't want to do that for whatever reason. I feel like fighters usually fought through their injuries. Hernandez is out. I think, I don't think. I know that RDR is going to win this one. I'm sorry, Brendan Allen. I'm not really a fan of this guy. You guys know that. I think RDR is just a better fighter, more supreme. This one sucks, man, because it's Hernandez-RDR was a true number one contenders fight. And now we just got basically RDR is going to stat pad a little bit because I don't even see I can't really see a world where, Brendan Allen wins. I was about to call him fly. I can't even see this guy winning. What is he going to do to RDR? RDR is beating wrestlers. He's beating strikers. He beat Whitaker in a 5-rounder. This is going to be a 5-rounder. Brendan Allen does not have a lot of 5-rounders compared to RDR, who has a lot of 5-rounders in his career. And he just went 5 rounds with Robert Whitaker. Made it very competitive. Won a really good decision. I think this is going to be easy money, man. I think this is easy money, in my opinion. RDR, I'm going to say via like a finish, too. I'm going to say he submits Brendan Allen or something, man. Brendan Allen is just... I don't really rate him that highly. The dude was fucking getting pieced up by Marvin Vettori at times. At times. I know he won that fight pretty comfortably, but he was getting hit with some shots, man. So, RDR, easy money. Of course, we have the return of the GOAT, GM3. He's back. He's going to face Kyle Dawkins. I think he'll probably get slept, I guess. Yeah, that one is... and then this one. Bo Nickel will fight Rodolfo Vieira. This one, a lot of people have spoken about this one. Vieira is one of those, right? He's a crafty vet, you know. He's got solid jiu-jitsu. He knows what it's like to be rocked and KO'd and be in a war and be hurt to... The thing is, how much can Bo Nickel really improve? How much can he improve to where it's like, when we saw Whitaker get hit with all those knees to the body from RDR and not crumble and go through 5 rounds of that pain of being knee to the stomach, Bo Nickel gets hit with like 3. Bo Nickel, did I just say the N-word? Bo Nickel, holy shit, gets hit with like 3 or 4 of those. On the 4th one, just crumbles. I'm not going to sit here and say he's a coward or he's not built for fighting. I'm not going to say all that. But there is a difference, you know. There's a grit that you have when you're a long-time fighter. For now, of course, we'll see as we get closer. We're a few months out. I might lean Rodolfo, you know. I really might. I don't know, though. I don't know yet. Maybe Bo could. I could see Bo Nickel winning like a boring decision, though. Maybe Vieira doesn't like pull the trigger. I don't know, though. Maybe Vieira is going to go for it. This is tough. If it's a striking fight, I mean, I might go Rodolfo Vieira, man. I think Bo Nickel's confidence might be a bit. I'm going to go Rodolfo Vieira for now. So don't get all. I'll go Rodolfo via like a decision, maybe. I could see it. Holy shit. Roman Kopylov versus the RoboCop himself. Yeah, I like this fight. I think it's a sick fight. Of course, I posted about this fight as well. But I do think, though, this is a bit of a clear-cut win for the GOAT himself, Barack Obama, the RoboCop. I think this is I don't say an obvious win because it's going to be competitive, I think. But I just don't like the way Kopylov looked in his last fight. And I think he doesn't have the best head movement, and like, how good is his chin? And I don't know. I just think RoboCop, man, he's the real deal, and he's got fucking power. He's got power, and I could see him low key sleeping. What's this kid's name? Yeah, Kopylov. I could see him sleeping Kopylov, man. I could. All jokes aside, I could. He's got a good chin, but it's just like RoboCop is tough, man, and he can really, really piece people up, and I could see him piecing up Kopylov. Kopylov is a good striker, but like, I don't know, man. The days of us glazing Kopylov are kind of over, man. I've seen enough mid performances, so yeah. This fight's been announced, I'm not really super hyped for this one, but I know my boy Derek is. Shout out to him. I think Ante D'Elia is probably gonna. Actually, I don't know. This is a big jump up. Oh, but the thing is, Cortez has a chin though. Is it the main event? Hopefully, this is not a 5-rounder, but 3-rounder. I might trust Cortez to win. I don't know, man. D'Elia looked good though. I might say D'Elia, and then David Onama, Steve Garcia. I think this is the main event. Yeah. Wait, it just got told that Waldo Cortez Acosta is on the same card, but yeah, so this is going to be the main event seemingly. Okay, yes, this will headline November 1st, UFC Apex, blah, blah, blah. Good fight, 5-rounder. I could see Steve Garcia kind of piecing up David Onama, but Onama's got solid grappling, so I might go with Steve Garcia, though. These guys are like the different opposites of like color shading, right? It's like no, but I'm going to go Steve Garcia, I think. His striking is good. Over 5 rounds as well. That gives him more time to find the chin. Onama's good. He's tricky himself, but Steve Garcia is the truth, man. So that's about it. Let me know what fight of any of the fights I've spoken about today stand out the most to you. Who do you think is going to face Charles Oliveira? Hopefully it is Benoit Saint-Denis. That fight really interests me because, God forbid Arman Tsarukyan steps up and saves an event, right, Arman? But he'll never do that. Like, comment, share, sub, become a member down below. Peace.